Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we'll be killing Zammy 1000 times, and per the request of somebody, we are looking at my current collection log. I've had 3 spears, 4 steam staffs unfortunately, and I've had a few of the shards, but no staff, no pet, and no hilt from this boss yet. And with that out of the way, let's start going. I also got a comment about how I do this, so I figure I would show in a bit of a slow motion how I do this. Um, I do have the Accursed Scepter right now. I was using it because it was on a Slayer task, and I just wanted to try it out. But you stand on this tile I have marked here, go for the freeze one time, do some DPS, and then you'll notice as soon as the boss starts to move, I move over to this tile marked here, freeze right here, and you will catch both the boss and the melee minion, and this typically ends the kill. And as we come up on kill count 682, I did get the Steam Battle Staff as the first drop, and I hope this wasn't an omen for what was to come because the Steam Battle Staff kinda common, 1 in 128, along with the Zamrock Spear being a 1 in 128 drop as well. The Staff of the Dead being 1 in 512, along with the hilt. And speaking of the Staff of the Dead, I got one at 715 KC, and that did mark it off for me for the collection log. The Staff of the Dead wasn't one of the original items released in God War's Dungeon for Zammy. I want to say this was added right away into Old School, though. It wasn't added right away into RS2. I guess I'll just call it RS2 from here because I'll probably refer back to it as RS2 a few times because, well, that's the only time I ever really went to Zammy. There was not a whole lot of point in doing it in RS3 or at, what is it, the Evolution of Combat period. I don't know. I do know that's when a lot of people quit playing the game, and that is why Old School RuneScape came to be anyways. Speaking of RS2, I do remember Zammy being one of the least popular God Wars dungeon bosses, both because the drops aren't as expensive as the other bosses, and nobody wanted to tank Zammy when you could just go to Bandos, have an easier time, and probably make more money. And here's a good example of that because at 767 KC, I end up getting another Steam Battle Staff. Great. I will end up getting 15 Steam Battle Staffs and probably nothing else from this just because of how well Bandos went. Speaking of comparing Zammy and Bandos together, which one is your guys' favorite? I feel like those two are the most similar of the God Wars dungeon bosses. Like, when you go to Armadale, there's not a whole lot you can. You're gonna get hit by the boss no matter what. It's gonna hit everybody with range and magic. And Sarah, I guess, is like a completely different beast because you could just walk around the room and avoid pretty much everything. But let me know, what boss do you guys like the most out of the God Wars dungeon bosses? I'm not really gonna count Nex because that was released later. Although I would like to do 1,000 Nex kills, they will most definitely not be 1,000 solo kills. I'll probably get like a group of friends together or something to do that. I'm not sure, but I would like to finish the rest of the original bosses, and I'll probably go to Armadale next after this. I'm not sure. Now, I'm not sure about everyone else, but the 2008 to 2010 time period is when I have the most nostalgia about this game. It's when I couldn't just look something up and get answers about it. I think I mentioned it in another video, like trying to find out stuff about Bandos and trying to find out stuff about Zamorak. And I was actually looking for information about this boss because I remember the boss was actually a lesser demon back in RS2, and I swear by that because I remember people in the clan I was in trying to get lesser demon tasks. But I checked the old school wiki, and it says that Zammy's always been a greater demon in old school. But upon further research, I did find out that Zammy was originally a lesser demon. And I think that was probably a good call to switch it into a greater demon. Doesn't really make much sense for the boss to be the lesser demon. which, speaking of which, if you didn't know, there is a demon of each type inside of this room. You've got the black demon, the lesser demon, and the greater demon, which the ranger would be the lesser demon, the mage is obviously the black demon, and the melee being the other greater demon aside from the Zamrock boss itself. And I guess that's some RuneScape trivia for you right there. Apparently that's not something that's commonly known amongst the community, although it is a weird, random, useless fact, which, by the way, I'm chocked full of, especially when it comes to this game, and it has not been useful at any point in my life. Here we are at 911 KC. I got another Staff of the Dead, and I was really excited about this. I was sort of expecting to get more drops from the boss, considering the drop rate of both the staff, well, the Steam staff, I should say, and the spear, which I noticed, I don't know what happened, but the Zammy spear is not as much as it used to be. I feel like it was like 11 mil at one point. And then at the time of this recording, it's at like 4.4 or something like that. I don't know if the Osmonton's Fang from TOA caused the price to drop, because from what I understand, that's pretty decent at Corp. Although I've heard some people say that they still prefer to use the spear, but that's usually because they're dropping all of the stats of the boss to basically zero. I don't know. If any of you have done a bunch of Corp, let me know. Let me know what the answer is. Do I use the spear still, or do I use the Fang? Spear or Fang? Let me know. This whole video is about to just be me talking about RS2 and the good old days, or at least the good old days to me, because I'm just not getting that many drops from here. I don't know, maybe I'm just being too optimistic towards the drop rate here, but I thought I'd be getting a drop every like 60 or 70 kills, even if it was just another Steam battle staff, but just wasn't having that kind of luck, at least in the beginning here. I did have a few random Ring of Wealth drops that kind of sucked, but it happens. It happens. Just like Steam battle staves happen. I think that was number 4 at this point, and I was only, what, like 2 or 300 kill counted? No, I said Ring of Wealth. I definitely meant rare drop table. There is so many drops on the rare drop table that absolutely suck. I got javelins, both rune and addy javelins from this boss. And if you didn't see, I got the Steam battle staff just before I got rune javelins as a drop. Not to mention all the uncut gem drops I got from here, along with like the 45 law rune drop. I saw that a couple times, I think, or 40 something law rune drop. I also saw nature runes once or twice while I was here, along with a couple dragon med helmets, I believe. I think I got a couple dragon med helmets while I was here. But Zammy does not have the same alchables as Bandos. Bandos has some really nice alchables. Not so much at this boss, though. I do feel like I got a lot more food from this boss than any other boss. And at 1059 KC, I get another Steam Battle Staff. What is that, like 5 Steam Battle Staffs so far at this point? I was hoping to get a spear by this point. I'm not sure. It's not that rare to get a spear. But I know I was talking about the alchables and comparing them to like other bosses, and I'm predominantly comparing it to Bandos, because I know like Armadillo doesn't really have any great drops. Like you either get an armor piece or the hilt, or you're probably losing money. And then Sarah, I don't really do a whole lot of Sarah. At any point did I ever do a lot of Sarah. Um, I know a lot of people just go for the hilt or the crossbow now. I know the crossbow wasn't something that came in the original RS2 package, as I call it. But now that I'm done talking about the negatives, or at least I hope I'm done talking about the negatives of some of the drops here, I will say that they are better than Armadillo, that drops, I don't know, dragon bolts or whatever. Not even like dragon bolts, it's dragon stone bolts, which are just rune bolts with dragonstone tips on them. Such a weird drop to have, and you get like 5 of them, which is worthless at this point in the game. But at least when you go to Zammy, you get runes. I know you probably not going to see them stack up in my inventory because I'm using a bunch of them and I have the scuffed rune pouch. I know, guys don't have to keep telling me. Or do tell me. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Go ahead and tell me. Say, Rock, why don't you have the upgraded rune pouch? What are you doing? Now, I know this question's probably going to come up at some point. Uh, Someone's going to ask, what are the kills per hour like? What are the kills per trip like? And to that I say, it totally depends on what I get as drops from the boss. If the boss wants to drop me a bunch of super restores, I can stay here much longer. But otherwise, I will only be able to stay here for maybe 20 kills. And there's the Zammy spear I was looking for. I was so hyped. Oh my goodness, I got the drop and it was only 4.2 mil? That's kind of sad. 4.2 mil for a Zammy spear. And while the Zammy spear was not a new addition to the collection log, it was like a nice little bonus to have while making the video. But here I got the Zamrock hilt just a few kills later, and that was a new addition to the collection log. And just like when I did Bandos, I will probably keep that hilt and make a god sword out of it. I would like to have all the god swords again. I don't have them all right now. I think the Bandos one is the only one that I still have, so I guess I'm just gonna have to solo the bosses until I get all the god swords. Again, I don't know how that's gonna work out with next because I'm not doing that. Or at least I'm not soloing that boss. I'll probably just use split money to buy it or something like that. But here we are at 12:06 and I got another Zammy spear and I was super excited because I was just raining drops. As you can see in my inventory, I've got a spear and another staff, and I'm pretty sure that I missed the recording for the staff. It was one of the first kills when I had walked in and I didn't hit the record button, which was a little unfortunate, but it's okay. I still got the drop, and I will show you my collection log at the end so you guys can see exactly how many stabs and stuff I got. Pretty sure that's the only drop that I missed the recording for, so it should still come out okay. And I did also do my bond giveaway, so if you're watching this video, the bond giveaway on the Bandos video is already over, and I already gave it to him. I don't know, is that something you guys would want me to like verify? Because I do have the video recording of me giving the person their bond. I don't want anyone to think like, hey, you're just saying you're giving away these bonds and you're not actually doing it. Because I am. I did actually give the person their bond. And now that I'm about halfway through the video, this is where I guess I'm going to tell you that I will be doing another bond giveaway on this video. Remember, you just have to be subscribed to the channel, like the video, and you have to add maxed rocks. There's no space there. And I think I'm going to wait 2 weeks this time just to give people a little bit more time. So 2 weeks from whenever I post this video, and I will randomly pick somebody from the comment section. Just be sure to leave your RuneScape name in the comment section for me. I will pick somebody at random. And that is all regarding that. Now, I do want to address all of the Addy arrows that are dropped here, because Addy arrows in RS2, and I know I'm going back to the RS2 era, used to be extremely expensive for no reason. Nobody bought them, but the value never changed in the Grand Exchange because nobody bought them. And I guess before I talk about that, there's another Zammy spear, another 4.2 mil at 1306. So what? I have like 370 more kills to go. God, this took a long time. I don't even want to think about how many hours this took. I spent a lot of time at Zammy, unfortunately. But at least the kill count here was really easy to get. But anyways, I'm clearly going off on a tangent. These Addy arrows that you can get from this boss used to kill your loot share potential if you were here using loot share / coin share. You would just get the Addy arrows as a drop. And I know that that's not a great time. Some people would come here and hope that they missed the arrows and then like try and like loot share at Corp or something like that and snipe a sigil. I don't know, has anyone else tried to do that? I never had any luck at Corp. At least not in RS2. I had a decent amount of luck on Old School. a couple Ellies early on when Corp first came into the game. Another Steam Battle Staff at 1349. I am quite frankly sick of seeing steamed battle staves, but it comes with the territory, I guess. You're gonna get a bunch of drops here, and I guess a bunch of them are going to be steamed battle staves. But the Addy arrows, yes, they were basically used as junk, and they were used as a way to trade items for more than what they were worth. So you would offer them in a trade and people would give you more cash. You could also use them for the lending system that is in RS2, RS3, and you could lend people items, and then you could have them give you GP for the lend, which couldn't really do back then because trade limits existed. I almost forgot about that. 1382, another Steam battle staff. I guess we're just gonna gloss over all of these Steam battle staves that I keep getting because I remember while I was actually doing the boss, I wasn't very thrilled with all the Steam battle staves that I was getting. And then we are at 1390, another Steam battle staff. And I know this is just going to be me sounding like a broken record, and you're like, Rock, we're tired of hearing about the Steam battle staff. It's okay. But there's another Steam battle staff at 1390. And with that out of the way, maybe I can finish the story about the Addy arrows and what they were used for. Because I remember being able to use the Addy arrows that I would get here when I was unfortunate enough to get them through loot share slash coin share. And there, I just got 85 prayer. Just take a second to look at that. I got 85 prayer from having the Ash Sanctifier in my inventory while I did all of these kills because each one of these demons drops ashes. I don't know, I feel like that's kind of impressive, right? Because I did get my last prayer level while doing Abyssal Demons. And at 1428, I got another Zammy Spear, and look at that, the price dropped to 4 mil at the time. Why is the Zammy Spear so cheap? Why are so many of these weapons so cheap? If anyone saw me do the Abyssal Demon video where I got like 9 whips and 5,000 kill count, each whip was only worth 1 mil. I feel like they were like 1.7 to 2 mil for the longest time. I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken. But anyways, the Adieros P++, I will finish this story. I would use them on World 2. I would take them, go to World 2, and I would lend out like an AGS or Dragon Claws or something like that for like 12 hours. And I would do this before I went to bed. And because of the GE, or not the GE limit, but the trade limit that was placed, I don't know when the trade limit originally came into the game. It was there when I originally started playing. But I know some of you have probably been around before that was ever a thing, and I remember a lot of people being pretty upset about not being able to just give their friends items and things like that, which I didn't have any issues with. I think it's just because I played the game and there was a trade limit the whole time I played the game. But yeah, I would use the arrows and I would give the people the arrows and they would pay for them in the trade, and then I would also lend them the god sword. So it was like a nice passive way to make money off of items that I had. I wish they would have something like that in the game now. It'd be nice to be able to lend people stuff and not have to worry about them stealing my items or having to hunt down my items, because you could just set it for a certain amount of time, like 12 hours, and then after the 12 hours was up, the item was removed from their account and would go back to your account. It was such a great idea. And here we are again. You already know what's about to happen. We got another drop, and it's the hilt at 1520 KC. I got another hilt. What is it? We're going to 1671, so we are almost there. We only got like 150 more KC to go. And yes, we finally spit out the story behind the Addies. I was also picking up the steel darts. I know I didn't talk about that yet, but I was just curious how many steel darts I would get from here, and I usually had the inventory space for them, so I would pick them up. And I realized I've glossed over some of the other drops that you can get here, for like the rune skimmy, the Addy plate body, rune legs. What is it? noted lantidimes and the lantidime seeds, which are both useless. But I am pretty happy about the wines of Zammy that I was able to get. I will be using all of those to make a bunch of ranging potions. It should be some pretty good Herblore XP. And I'm sure some of you have noticed, but I have received quite a few God Sword shards. I thought that they were kind of rare, but apparently they are not. Like, thought like the God Sword was like 1 in 300 or something like that. But every time I do one of these, I get enough to make like 2 or 3 different blades. So am I just getting lucky slash unlucky, or is that normal? Let me know. Is that normal? And as we get closer to the end of the video and the end of all of these kills, it starts to occur to me that the dream of completing the collection log within this 1000 KC probably isn't going to happen. But what is going to happen is I will get another Steam Battle Staff. Oh man, it's just become funny at this point. I've gotten so many of them. I was at like 8 or 9, something like that. But I don't see myself getting the pet at this point, unfortunately, which is kind of sad, but expected. Zammy is actually one of my favorite of the God Wars pets. It's probably Zammy, probably Armadillo after that, and Sarah, and then Bandos. There's another Steam Battle Staff at 1626. I want to say that's number 9. And if you saw me type in the chat real quick, you could tell that I was frustrated. It had been a minute since I had gotten a drop that was actually worth anything, and I think the last drop that I got that was any good was the hilt. I think the hilt was the last thing that I got. And here we are at 1643 now, and we are going through these kills quick. And we are almost done. We just remember we stop at 1671, just in case I didn't say it at the beginning of the video. And at 1651, we got another Steam Battle Staff. So 1671 is where we're going to be ending because I started at 671 KC. I guess I picked up all the key halves as well. So before we get into the loot from all 1000 kills, let me know what you guys think I got. And now let's go get it. Alright, and without further ado, we're just gonna jump right into it. There we are, 72.4 mil. All from Zammy. We got the 2 hilts, 5 spears. I got 12 Steam Battle Staffs and 3 Staffs of the Dead. I got so many shards. I got enough to make 3 blades. That is crazy. The runes that I got, I don't think that this was really worth it. Averaging like 72k a kill, at least from the stuff that I picked up. Obviously, I'm not banking super restores. How much of this is just in rares? Hold on. Let's see. Let me price check this real quick. That's so sad. 20 mil for the spears. Less than a mil for that. 39. 50 mil. So like 20 mil from just the other random drops. And I will use this to confirm that where is it? Where's Kril at? There we are. 3, 8, 16, 2 hilts. Look at those shards. Still no pet. It's a sad time. Anyways, let me know what you guys think I should do next inside the game. I was thinking about doing Armadillo, but I would like to do some other loot videos before I go straight into Armadillo because these take a couple weeks to do, and I'm predicting that Armadillo is going to take longer than Zammy did. Just my personal opinion, though. Anyways, if you made it to this far in the video, thank you very much, and I don't know, wherever, whenever you are, I hope you have a great night, day, evening. Stay safe. Take care. See you next time.